Season 3 Reloaded of MW3 is coming up really quickly, and there's a bunch of new guns that you really need to start trying out that are probably going to be some of the best, if not the best weapons you'll be using going into the new Dark Aether portal. So here are 6 of the best weapons you can use. Let's get into it. Now, to make this crystal clear, there are some weapons that are not on this list that you guys are probably still going to use, such as the Lockwood shotgun, but those aren't as strong as some of these weapons that I'm going to be going through, like the HRM9 SMG, simply because they are not as strong as they used to be, and because they have actually been nerfed by Call of Duty themselves. That's not to say the Lockwood is not still viable, it's just not as strong as some of these. But let's start off with the HRM9 SMG, which I think personally is one of the best SMGs you can use still. This was one of my top picks back in Season 2 Reloaded, but this is still an absolute powerhouse of an SMG. As you can see, we're starting off the video on every single one of these guns in a gray level, no pack-a-punch, so you can see what it looks like in a base level against some of the normal enemies you'll be running across. And as you can tell, the HRM9 really holds its own against some of the base level zombies that you're gonna find, but that's not really the point here. Is when you start upgrading this that it really starts to show how powerful it can be. Simply adding this to the base level, I think you need to be as soon as you go into the tier 2 area. Blue with 2 level pack-a-punch, any ammo mod, it absolutely fries through zombies no problem, and absolutely fry through the mini bosses that you come across inside of so many different missions, and it even holds its own at this level inside of the tier 3 area and into some of the harder levels of the Dark Aether. It's my go-to that I had throughout entire Season 2 Reloaded. Going through that entire Easter egg quest line is just a great gun to go with. Now, this is the build that I've been going with for a long time, ever since the HRM was unlockable inside of Season 2. The VLK laser 7mW, the Princeps long barrel. I changed the underbarrel a little bit between an underbarrel and a stock. Really just goes between what kind of opinions you have on how you like to play the game. I always like to use ammunition to get an extra power behind my gun, a little bit extra damage, and of course on an SMG you usually want to have a higher round mag, especially when you pack a punch it, you get that much more ammo, so I always throw on the 50 round drum mag. Once again, a great go-to weapon if you don't have an idea of what kind of gun you want to go into the new Dark Aether with. I highly recommend using this one. Now, normally in zombies you don't normally go for something that's in the assault rifle category. It's usually the shotguns or the SMGs, sometimes even pistols. There's a pistol later on in this video, in fact, but the MCW actually comes in clutch this time around, and I'm really surprised that's even on this list, to be honest with you. It holds its own at a base level, of course, but it's nothing anything to snuff at, because again, it is at the base level. This gives you an idea of how powerful it can be, because we all know in the gray level of all these guns, they're absolutely terrible. So to have any kind of fighting chance, even against level 1 zombies, is a great notification that this is actually going to be helpful when you pack a punch just even a little bit. And the MCW is a prime example of this. The absolute damage multipliers that you get from the headshots are obviously always going to be there, but the fact that you could shoot this from a much farther range than you would any shotgun, any SMG, really puts this on the radar, especially when you go into some longer range areas like you're going to have an MW3, and also going into certain Dark Aether portals. You're just going to come across a lot of zombies at a longer range that you want to destroy a lot quicker than they are able to get to you, especially when you're a little bit low on HP or in a little bit more of a tougher situation. This is going to be one of my go-to weapons going into Season 3 Reloaded, just because it has that distance and the headshot multiplier that it has, as you can see. And this is at the minimum tier 2 requirement of a blue level 2 pack-a-punch in my mind, so it's only going to get better from here. This is the build that I've been rocking with. This is what works best for me, but of course you guys will probably have a lot of different opinions and a lot of different changes in there, again, depending on how you like to play this particular game style. I always like an AR to not move a ton, so that way I can focus on headshots and actually focus on getting that damage output, so I can focus on a lot of different zombies that are coming at me all at the same time. But let me know what you guys like to change on this particular build. Let me know down in the comments. And we're not done with the ARs just yet. The MTZ 556 AR is actually just as good, if not maybe slightly better than the MCW inside of MW3, which I'm honestly really shocked about, because this is a gun they don't really think about when you go into MW3. Again, you go with the shotguns, you go with the SMGs, heck, you even go with some other ARs or LMGs outside of this one. But trust me, when you put on some levels on this thing, it absolutely cooks. And the reason that I'm so shocked at how powerful this thing ended up being when I put some upgrades onto it into the blue level 2, as you're seeing throughout the theme of this entire video, that was when this gun started to really shine for me. As you can see, it's nothing to be super surprised about. It's not really killing a lot of zombies all that easily, even with hitting headshots most of the time. It's really not all that strong at a base gray level, even against some of the easiest zombies in the entire game. But throw on the blue level rarity and tier 2 pack-a-punch, and absolutely fries through some of the harder zombies that you'll come across in some some of the contracts, such as the bounty contracts inside of the tier 2 area, which always needs at least a blue tier 2 weapon to even try and take down. Bounty level manglers in tier 2 are usually pretty big bullet sponges. Outside of the disciples, they're the second hardest ones to kill, and the MTZ easily takes this thing down with a little bit of finesse. Now you can imagine if you take down a mangler bounty that easily in the tier 2 area, imagine what it's going to do to regular zombies. And usually inside of the story missions in these brand new seasons, it's going to be level 2 zombies inside of here, so it's going to be really easy to use, really easy to progress through that entire new storyline with this particular gun. And imagine if you pack and punch it even more or put it to a higher level rarity. Great gun, highly recommend, especially for the distance that you may need as we go into this brand new season. This is the build that has worked best for me, the Razorhawk Laser Light MTZ Drift Heavy Long Barrel. I always use ammunition. That one could be moved around a little bit in my opinion. 50 round drum mag, of course, because we need so much ammunition to take down all these zombies, and the Rival DMH-IV stock. Now you could probably interchange the stock with either a rear grip or a underbarrel. It really just depends on how you want to use this gun. This is what works best for me. Now if you thought the ARs were an interesting pick for this list, you're going to be really surprised by this Renetti, especially if you don't have this aftermarket part unlocked for this particular gun, because it's one of the only pistols that has been frying in every single facet of this game for a long time, and MW3 is no different. Now I'll be honest with you guys, I thought this was an absolutely ridiculous idea that this gun was going to be just as good as the dual tier pistols that one-shot a bunch of different bosses, but I was really surprised at how strong this actually ended up being when you particularly throw on this aftermarket part. I would put this up at the same level as the dual Wasp SMGs that a lot of people have been using for such a long time, and it just absolutely fries zombies at a regular level for the tier 2, like I've been saying this entire video, and it has no problem easily taking out a bounty level zombie. Now even though it easily takes down those bounty level targets, it's also really good inside of the horde level zombies that you're going to come across in more situations than not inside of this game, particularly when you go in some of the dark ether portals. I think when you throw on the particular 50 round mag, as I'll go across the build in a little bit, it really starts to shine a lot more. It easily displaces a lot of zombies in seconds, and definitely one you should be checking out if you haven't already. Now the key to this build is a carbine conversion kit. In addition to that, you want to get the 50 round drum mag, a different kind of ammunition than mine if you want to, just to get the extra punch of damage into there. The Zem 35 compensator flash hider, that's a lot of words to say at once, and I always throw on a laser just to help out with the ADS speed, but you guys could probably alter this a lot to whatever works best for your playstyle. This is what I found to be working the best for myself and a lot of other people online. Now we're going to be quickly moving on to the mini version of the Wasp SMGs, to the Stinger SMGs, and this is actually going to be found inside of the handgun section. I'm really glad that these are now powerful enough, because in season 2 they were good but not that good, but now they're absolutely must uses. These dual SMGs are going to be your best friends as soon as you start the game. They pack a lot of punch even at the early game. As you can see, at a gray level easily dispatches a bunch of zombies at a close range. These are focused on being a close range weapon. As soon as you throw a little bit of power behind these things, it easily dispatches some of the bounty level targets that you're going to go across, and as you can see in this little clip, even though it's a little janky, easily takes out some of the zombies around this bounty level and the bounty level zombie at the same time. They're just absolutely busted at a really close range. As you can probably imagine, when you get a horde of zombies that have a lot of targets in front of you, this makes these guns even that much better, because you have a lot of targets to hit at a close range, and it just dispatches these things super easily. You don't even have to think about the ammo that you're using, because you'll have more than enough of the build that I'll be showing you shortly. In my opinion, these are the second most busted guns that you can use in this game, and the final one on this list is the one that is an absolute go-to and absolute use. Here's the build that I've been using. Obviously, you want to have these things in akimbo. 32 round mag, when you pack a punch, gives you more than enough ammo between two guns. 9mm overpressed plus P ammunition, 1 milliwatt pistol laser just to help out with the hip fire, and also the HISS short light barrel, because you want that extra damage, especially when you're at this closer range. I can see you changing out the ammo for maybe a stock just to help out with the hip fire, but totally up to you guys. Let me know what you guys changed down in the comments. Now the final gun on this list is a brand new SMG in the season 3 battle pass, the Horus SMG, which is unfortunate that it's locked behind the battle pass, but this gun absolutely fries. So if you do have the battle pass, I absolutely recommend you guys start using this immediately. At a base level, this gun is super powerful, easily dispatches zombies with headshots, headshots and really does a good amount of damage for being a smaller, really close range SMG to body shots. Now the thing is, when you put a little bit of power behind this thing, it really starts to wake up. This gun with that power behind it easily takes out zombies in tier 2 no problem, and also easily dispatches really high level zombies in this particular situation, 2 different mimics at the same time in a short amount of time. There's a handful of guns in this game right now that could do the same exact thing, and if you take a look at this, I get cornered and easily dispatched a whole horde of zombies that corner me inside of this tower very easily, and I have more than enough ammo to continue the fight inside of this tower if I want to. The build that I've been rocking and it works best for me is the VLK laser 7mW laser. Very easy, very useful for the aim down sight. SYN9 long barrel. The Kimura RYN03 underbarrel. You'll guys be able to find that. That's a crazy name for an underbarrel in my opinion. I always use ammunition. 9mm overpressured plus P ammunition is what I use, and finally the 48 round mag, because more than enough ammo to take out a bunch of zombies around me, and more than enough ammo in reserves as well to take out a whole bunch of zombies inside of Dark Aether portals. Now I know that's a lot of guns and a lot of different information stacked on top of you in just under 12 minutes, but again, I think these guns are going to be really useful, especially since we've had so many changes inside of Season 2 into Season 3, going into Season 3 Reloaded now. I think these guns are going to be some of your best bets going into this brand new Dark Aether portal. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Did I miss some weapons? Should there be some changes to the weapons that I added onto here? Again, let me know down in the comments with the full builds. As always, I hope you guys found this helpful. I make these videos to help out people as they go into the brand new season, be as prepared as possible, because sometimes these Dark Aether portals are not easy. And as always, if you guys found this helpful, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.